When I say reindeer, what do you think of? Let's be honest, it's probably Christmas cards, maybe Santa's sleigh. But today, we are going to peel back all that festive wrapping to get a look at the incredible animal underneath. A creature so perfectly engineered for the Arctic, it's basically a living, breathing survival machine. And who doesn't, right? There's just something magical about them. We all kind of have that soft spot. But what if I told you the reality is even more magical than any myth? Because, as wonderful as those stories are, the scientific truth of the reindeer is just way more fascinating. This animal is packed with biological superpowers that honestly sound like they're straight out of science fiction. So let's do this. Let's take a tour of this survival machine, and we're going to start right at the very top. First up, their head and herd dynamics, which, of course, is all about their most famous feature, those antlers. Okay, so right off the bat, here's something that makes reindeer totally different. In just about every other deer species on the planet, it's only the males that have antlers. But with reindeer, the females grow them too. Which naturally begs the question, why? Well, it turns out the antlers tell two completely different survival stories. For the males, the bulls, it's all about competition. They grow these massive, impressive antlers to fight off rivals and win mates in the fall. But as soon as that's over, boom, they drop them. The cows, however, hold on to theirs all winter long. For them, it is not about mates, it's about food. Those antlers are crucial tools for defending little patches of food they've dug in the snow, especially when they're pregnant and need every single calorie they can get. And if you thought antlers were their only status symbol, get this. Reindeer have another, even stranger trick up their sleeve. Or, in their knees. When they walk, a tendon slips over a bone, and it makes this loud clicking sound. The bigger the reindeer, the louder the click. It's a built-in acoustic signal that just broadcasts their size and strength, a way of saying, hey, don't mess with me, without ever having to pick a fight. Okay, so they've established their rank in the herd, but how do they survive the brutal environment itself? Well, that comes down to their ultimate winter coat. And of course, we have to talk about the most famous reindeer feature of all. It turns out Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer wasn't just a catchy tune. It was actually based on some very real biology. You see, reindeer have this incredibly dense network of blood vessels right in their noses. They can ramp up or slow down the blood flow to this area in a process called countercurrent heat exchange. It acts like a super efficient radiator, warming up the freezing air they breathe in before it can chill their lungs. And when they get a lot of blood flowing through there, their nose glows bright red. So yeah, that red nose is actually a sophisticated piece of climate control hardware. And their genius for staying warm extends to their entire coat. It's this amazing two-layer system. You've got a dense, woolly undercoat that traps heat close to the skin, and then longer, thicker guard hairs on the outside. But here's the kicker. Those guard hairs are hollow. The air trapped inside creates one of the best insulating coats in the entire animal kingdom. Oh, and as a little bonus, it makes them incredibly buoyant. We're talking a built-in life jacket for swimming across icy rivers. But to power this incredible survival machine, you need the right kind of fuel. And in a place as sparse as the Arctic tundra, reindeer have to get pretty creative with their menu. Their diet is mostly made up of lichens, which they can digest thanks to some special bacteria in their gut. They'll also munch on any grasses, mosses, or fungi they can dig up. But they've also been seen eating something a bit more, unusual. Yep, barnacle goose droppings. It sounds pretty gross, I know, but those droppings have partially digested plants in them, making them an easy-to-get source of nutrients in a place where every last calorie really, really counts. All right, let's keep moving down this incredible animal. Now we're going to look at the amazing gear they have for actually navigating this world. Let's talk about two key tools that make them built for the tundra, their eyes and their feet. So we've had clicking knees, a nose that doubles as a high-tech radiator. You're probably thinking, what could possibly be stranger than a red nose? How about eyes that literally change color with the seasons? And I'm not kidding, this isn't some trick of the light. It's a profound physiological change happening inside their eyeballs. So, in the back of a reindeer's eye, there's this reflective layer. In the summer, with its 24-hour daylight, that layer reflects a kind of gold turquoise light. But in the deep, dark winter, the pressure inside the eyeball actually increases, and it changes the structure of this layer so it reflects a deep blue light instead. This little switch makes their eyes incredibly sensitive, letting them soak up every last little bit of light during the polar night. It's like having built-in night vision that automatically adjusts for the season. How cool is that? I mean, the adaptations just keep on coming. So how does an animal that can weigh hundreds of pounds navigate terrain that shifts from soft, spongy ground in the summer to solid ice and deep snow in the winter?
Simple. They change their feet. In the summer, their foot pads get all thick and sponge-like, which gives them great traction on that soft ground. But as winter rolls in, those pads shrink and harden, exposing the rim of their hooves. This hard rim acts like the edge of an ice skate, letting them cut into the ice and snow for grip and also to dig for food. It is literally like having all-terrain tires that automatically change their own tread for the season.
So, we've seen this animal just perfectly and exquisitely adapted to thrive in extreme cold. A true master of the Arctic. But there's a problem. A really, really big problem. 40%. Just let that number sink in for a moment. That's the staggering decline in the global reindeer population over just the last few decades. We're talking about nearly half of them gone. And the cause isn't some natural predator or a new disease. The threats are almost entirely us. Habitat loss from farming, mining, and forestry is chopping up their ancient lands, and it's messing up critical migration routes. And on top of all that, climate change is bringing summer heat waves that these cold weather specialists are simply not built to handle. Which brings us to our final and most crucial question. For millennia, the reindeer has evolved to become the ultimate Arctic survival machine. It can handle anything the natural world throws at it. But the one thing it may not be able to adapt to is us.